Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Vanessa Collins, joined by Katrina Ness. And tonight we have a very special guest. We have Rebecca Flores from Snell Motor Group. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. We just were with Katrina last week and Ted and the whole crew. And so now I get to bring you guys into my home, I guess.
Yes, Rebecca, it's so great to have you on the After Dark show. For a little context, we haven't had an After Dark show in a minute. So to all of those of you who are online, thank you so much for joining. And we're so happy to have Rebecca, debut our show again. I'm back at school at Northwood. Vanessa is down in Austin, Texas. Vanessa, how has Lithia been going?
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for asking. I started this month, so I'm almost a month into it, and I'm, in Austin, Texas. It is so unbelievably hot, but I will be back in Michigan next month for, you guessed it, the Northwood Auto Show, where I get to see Katrina, my co-host and best friend's show. She's the general chair this year, so I'm so excited to support her in that, and yeah.
Good. Yes. It's been a busy summer, a lot of traveling on my end. I know Vanessa's had a lot going on with settling into Austin. We did a handful of different pop-up events. So if you all have been tuning in, you've probably seen a lot of content pushed out from there. Our most recent one was down in Texas. Vanessa was up in, I think, where were you?
Oregon,
when we were down there. So we did like a little flip-flop. And yeah, we were in Dallas at Snell Motor Company, and we had an amazing pop-up event where we met Rebecca. So Rebecca, tell us, about yourself. How did you get into the automotive industry? And a little bit about Snell and what you do there.
Yeah, absolutely. So next time I'm in Austin, Vanessa, I'll reach out to you because we have a JLR store in Austin. So that'll be good to just kind of connect.
Absolutely.
I have been in the industry now for 16 years, started on the collision side with Service King Collision Repair Centers, and then kind of worked my way into the dealership world. So moved from, Texas to Oklahoma to San Antonio market. So I've been kind of everywhere, and I had an opportunity to join Snell Motor Company's January of 2023. And the rest has been history. They didn't have a TA team, and they kind of gave me a blank canvas and said, here you go, run with it. And I've been, grateful to the opportunity, but more so to the team that we've been able to not only develop, but kind of search and see who we had on our team already that could go into management. It's been an absolute amazing opportunity. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And a long time in the automotive industry for yourself as well.
Yes. So I've been able to really develop some good relationships. There's been some previous colleagues of mine that I've brought on board to Snell Motor Companies, and it's been such an easy sell and such an easy pitch. We're family owned and operated, and so we have 3 JLR stores. We have our Dallas location, which you guys were just at. We have our Frisco location, one in Austin, Vanessa. And then we recently acquired Town North Mazda a year ago. So September of last year, we acquired them. That's in Richardson, Texas. And then in 2019, we started our first venture into the domestic side. So we have a Ford store in Tulsa, and we also have a collision center in the Garland area. So it kind of feels like home a little bit. I still get to do the collision side.
That's awesome. And for those of you who don't know, that is so cool. And we're going to get into that, more about your role in a little bit, but I want to talk about the pop-up. And for those of you who don't know, Rebecca actually was like the mastermind behind all. She organized the pop-up, made it so easy and seamless for Ted and Katrina and Sarah and everybody that went. And so what was your vision going into the pop-up event, and why did you feel like it mattered to the dealership?
Absolutely. So my vision really was, how do I highlight the team that we already have? I think for me, it felt that I had to be intentional with what we were going to do. It had to have, you know, the little intricacies as far as even the hydrangeas, you know, which I have a staple hydrangea bouquet here, but I love those flowers. And to me, I wanted it to look like it was a luxury experience, not only for you guys, but for our team as well. They deserve that. So I wanted to be as detailed and as, like I said, intentional with the process.
Yeah, it was truly amazing, Rebecca. As soon as we walked in, we were blown away. I mean, you set the bar astronomically. It was not only so well planned, beautifully coordinated, like it looked like a wedding in there. I'm not kidding. I literally told Rebecca, I was like, do you do weddings? Like it was just
so
the most
cool.
beautiful setup and display, from every little detail of a miniature car to the hydrangeas to even lunch. We catered this amazing Mediterranean food. I was telling Rebecca, I'm still thinking about it. It was so good. It's just like nothing we've ever really had before at a pop-up event. And also we had it in the service center, the service bays, which was really cool. Tell us about that, Rebecca, because sometimes, you know, for most of the time, we do them in the showroom, and this is only our second time doing it in the service bays.
Yeah, so we kind of struggled with, do we do the event in the showroom or do we do it on the service space side? And again, much credit to Ken, who's our Fixed Ops director, right? As soon as he heard what date that was, he goes, all right, I have to make sure that I am, like there's Ken there. I have to make sure that Rebecca's not traveling or anything. So just fun note, I did say I was going to Disney on those days. So I made sure to cancel that, hint, hint, Ken. So he owes us a trip. But for us, that is our showroom bay, right? And all of our clients, when they drive into our service drive, that is what they get to see. They see how we work on their vehicles. They see just the process of getting their vehicle into the shop. And so to us, it made sense. If it's a Fixed Ops Roundtable, right, why not do it on the service drive? We have such a beautiful canvas. So let's just make sure that shines.
Definitely. It was amazing. And the shop was beautiful in itself, the whole setup. It was so good to see Ken in the chat. He is on some of these panels and in these photos as well. You can see him next to Rebecca and Ted in this. And we see Ed Roberts in that, and then Mr. Snell as well. So super great. And it was great to have Ken there, and great to be able to do it all, you know, in the service center and in the service bays.
Katrina, Jimmy will tell you, Mr. Snell, that's my dad. I'm Jimmy.
I love it. I love it. No, it was so great to meet him. He completely entrusted Rebecca and Ken to take on, you know, the whole pop-up event and really put it together and be the face. And you guys kind of dive into us about that and the company culture and how that embodies what you do at Snell.
I think, you know, once we start looking at the videos that we did in the panel interviews, you will see a lot of the word empowerment, which was, you know, at the end of it, I was like, you know, that is the key takeaway of this whole deal. And it blended so beautifully because, you know, we have been empowered to deliver the message of legacy in a luxury experience. You know, we are a third generation family owned and operated dealer group. And so typically what you'll see, you know, the ownership want to come and highlight their story, but we have such a solid leadership and such a good foundation that they were like, you guys got it. You know, we want the spotlight for you guys. And they trusted us and empowered us to deliver that message, which in turn, you know, does the same thing for our team. When we are looking at Marcelo, who was a parts warehouse guy to a parts, you know, service or a parts specialist, and then goes into service advisor. Ryan, who was a service advisor, went into service management. Diego, who was a service advisor, now running his store in Austin. We look at all those trends, and then we have Alex and Adam, who started off as technicians and quick lane techs, to going into shop foreman. And these guys are young. I won't say their age or you know, they'll get mad at me, but the true legacy and that empowerment of, you know, this is your platform and you guys do what you want with it, as long as it makes business sense again, because if I say that, they're going to go, Rebecca, you said, and so I'll have to reel them in at that point. But it has been such a neat experience, and it has been the talk of the shop. So,
wow, that is such an incredible thing that you're bringing, the spotlight onto your team, the technicians, advisors, managers. And another question I have for you is, in your role for talent acquisition for Snell Motor Company, what processes and techniques have you implemented to kind of make that process a little bit better for the employees and make them feel truly recognized and valued? I know in the green room we were talking a little bit about technician signing day, which I have never heard of anything like that. So if you want to allude to that a little bit.
yeah, I love that you were like, what's that? And so many times, Vanessa, we talk about signing day and having a 4-year contract, right? And I don't dismiss that at all. We just moved my nephew into Texas A&M 2 weeks ago, right? And I've been like a ball of tears. And so to me, that was so empowering when we did his signing day, that I was like, why don't these technicians get to experience the same excitement? And so I reached out to the local high school that we partner with, and I said, hey, I have 3 seniors. They're graduating. You guys are doing college signing day. How about we be part of it? And so instead of them signing a 4-year contract for, a 4-year university, they signed a brand new pay plan. They were no longer tech apprentices. They were now full quick lane technicians.
Wow.
And so we printed out their pay plan, and we brought a contract there for them to sign. And then guess what? Everybody puts their baseball hats on, and so they put a JLR hat on and kind of signed their contract. We had toolboxes and tools ready to go with our logo, with their name on it. I mean, they were the it factor on college signing day. So it was the coolest experience.
That's amazing. And not only the fact that you made, every single one of them feel so, special and showed up for them, just like the other students who got their college signing day, which was amazing. But how did that look on the recruiting aspect for, future classes as well? I know some of the technicians were saying like a lot of their friends were kind of in awe of it, and not jealous, but just, kind of blown away by you guys and what you put together.
Absolutely. And so the one cool thing about it was, they were talking to Emilio and Angel and Nick, and they were going, hey, like, can we get her business card, right? Like, how do we sign up for that kind of experience? And I was able to get in contact with some of the students there. And the cool thing about it, Katrina and Vanessa, is that parents were there at signing day. So now, not only am I touching, all the other students around, but I'm talking to the parents about, hey, it's okay to be proud of, your son or your daughter going into a tech role, and think about these kids are 18 years old, right? They started with us when they were 16, and now they get to graduate high school with a full-time job at a luxury dealership. That's something that you rarely experience, but it builds so much traction that even the instructor's like, hey, I'll call you, you get first dibs on all my students, right? Because they all want to be part of this program.
Absolutely. And it's definitely bringing more awareness to the fact that being a technician is a career route. And I feel like a lot of students in high school, they don't know that. So that's really incredible. And with some of the dealerships I work with, for example, there's a lady who's now a GM, but she started as a technician, and that happens a lot. And so I'm curious, what are you seeing with your dealership with recruiting technicians? How do you go about recruiting? How do you deal with the potential tech shortage? There is a controversy. Is there a tech shortage? Is there not? Just talk to us a little bit about that process for you.
Ooh, that's a loaded question there, right? So what we've noticed is that a lot of the times you have to kind of grow your own technicians. Sometimes when you're looking at hiring technicians, you're going, well, do they have experience? And how much experience do they have? Can I bring them on board? But when you create a sense of loyalty, like with these high school kids that had an opportunity to work for a dealership like us, and then they see their career path and how they progress, that's loyalty, that's buy-in. And they see, the Alexes and Adams of the world, that they are also young and they are now shop foremans, right? And so it has a lot to do with grit. Whenever I talk to technicians, even outside of the high school platform, I want to know their purpose, their why. What motivates you? Is it fishing? Is it you have a daughter who's 5 years old, who's super expensive? Me right here. Is it, my boys, like they're expensive. So that is my why. I know I need to make money. So I want to know their why. And for one of our students, he goes, well, I have no backup plan. And I'm like, sold, right? Because now I know he's invested, he's motivated. And so he's going to put every ounce of effort into being successful. And that goes from entry level to technicians that just have never had the opportunity to work on the luxury side of the dealer world.
Absolutely. Rebecca, in terms of recruiting and not only just technicians, but as your whole role of talent acquisitions, talk to us about, your process to ensure that you're getting the right candidates in the door and keeping them there and, increasing employee retention as a whole, and kind of what some of your processes look like for that.
Yeah. So one of the things that I focus a lot on without even focusing on it, right? Without being intentional, but it kind of comes off that way, is I just build relationships, Katrina. And I will answer my phone whenever they need to. I've had some technicians go, well, my wife doesn't really understand the health benefits. And so I'm like, well, have her call me. Have her call me and we could talk through it. Right. And so it is buy-in from the family, because when the family is bought in, guess what? Everybody wins. And it's not like a disingenuous thing that I'm doing or just having a conversation with them just to kind of check the boxes. I really mean it. I have everybody's best interest at heart, and I want to know where they need to be, how they need to get there, and I will try to get them on that path. But I'm also very honest with them. There's a lot of technicians that think that they're going to make tons of money, and so I reel them back into reality, right? Like, hey, brother, you're not making $100,000 on your first year. Whatever you've been told, not the case. And so I think transparency is key for them, because they are sold the dream. And so I bring them back to reality, but a reality that they can obviously increase in that career path.
Yeah. And creating clear, expectations on both ends is something that we talked about a lot, when we were at Snell as well.
Yeah.
What you guys do.
For sure. And looking at these pictures again, Katrina, it is an amazing operation that you pulled off, Rebecca.
Details of the car colors in the backgrounds, they're all correlated. It's amazing.
It is. You have such a good eye. And so my next question is the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So we are on the road. We have done many pop-ups this year, and we're only growing. So we are going to be visiting many dealerships across the country, maybe even the world. So if another dealer group asked you how to replicate what you pulled off and the energy you brought into the room and all the different details that really brought it together, what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give them?
First rule here is if you go anywhere outside of the U.S., you have to take me with you. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Okay. So that is a requirement for the dealership. We're going to go interview. First and foremost, honestly, I think it's be prepared to control the chaos, but not so much that it feels scripted. Right. And one of the things that I did is that I did mock interviews for our team. I knew who I wanted to be part of the panels. And then I sent them out a few screening questions, and I was like, please reply. You have till Monday. And they did. And so then I would hear their questions. So we did a trial run, right? Like a little bit of a Q&A. And so a lot of the ones that didn't feel comfortable, I knew the one thing I didn't want to do was hinder them, because now they felt like they had to perform. And so, hey, it's okay. It's your story. And so reminding them that it's their story that they're telling, we're just giving them a platform to say it. At the end of the day, we can work for any organization, but to really highlight and focus on the people aspect, that's what really makes our business run. And so for me, it was making sure that they felt ready. making sure that we all matched. I don't know if y'all noticed. I was like, y'all have to wear blues and like neutrals. And they were like, okay, Rebecca, you're being OCD right now. But hey, the pictures look so great. I wanted them to feel a sense of pride the whole time, right? They're going to look at these pictures 3 years down the road, 6 months down the road, 10 years down the road, and they're going to feel a sense of empowerment of, man, I looked good. And so that was the whole theme of it. You look good, you feel good, you do good. And so I was very particular about every aesthetic.
Awesome. So organized yet not micromanaging and going with the flow, having it be natural. Wow. Seems like
Rebecca,
you absolutely get out of the ballpark.
Definitely. I completely agree, Vanessa. Rebecca, what were some of, the reactions from your team after they, were able to see themselves spotlighted this way, whether they were technicians, advisors, managers, everyone that was involved?
I think, at the end of it, everybody just kind of took like a big breath. The one cool thing was that everybody was excited. They're like, well, when's the next one? Like, how do I get on the next panel? And so that was absolutely amazing. I talk about like how my OCD came out to the point where you were able to create a little bit of buy-in. I had one of the service managers go up to the flowers and touch them. And I was like, excuse you. He's like, I want to make sure they're real. And I said, why wouldn't they be? And in that moment, I'm like, he goes, well, you would have lost points if they were fake. And I go, he gets it, right? He gets that little details matter. And so when you show pride in what you do and how you are perceived, I think that is something that the whole shop really saw from, the orange vehicle that was in the back. That was one of our salespeople's car. And he was like, yeah, spotlight it. I want my car in the mix. And so everybody came together and there was nobody rolling their eyes. There was nobody like, I have to pick this up. They're like, got it. I'm in. I could do this. And so it was such a neat experience.
I love it. It really brought you guys together, the whole event.
Yeah. And the one thing that I don't know if people do or not, but we took like the media crew out to dinner the night before, right? And build relationships with our vendors that were going to come in. So that way everybody felt comfortable. It wasn't like, hi, Vanessa, I'm meeting you. Here's a camera. To the point that Dynatron, they brought me a case full of Red Bulls because we had bantered about it. Like I run on Red Bull. And so they brought cases of them. My kids were like, Mom, what is going on? I'm like, don't worry about it.
I love it. Yeah. That was amazing.
That relationship was really key because then it was friends getting together to talk in front of a camera and not so much, oh, hi, this is a vendor,
Wow. That's so important. I feel like a lot of people don't think of it that way, but the little things that you did definitely added up to not only make the event look visually appealing, but also to help everybody be a little less relaxed. I mean, of course, being in front of the camera is hard. I know Katrina and I, we still get a little bit nervous in front of the camera a couple years into it, but really good for you for making your team feel the most comfortable and making it just a great experience for everybody involved.
Okay.
Yeah. So if people wanted to learn more about Snell, or maybe they're in an area where a dealership is local to them and they're interested in maybe working for them, what is a good website, call to action, email that you would recommend?
So just look for our rooftops. We're currently working on our Snell Motor Company website. And so that's under just kind of development, but JLR Dallas, if you Google us, you can go on there. Honestly, connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll be able to kind of guide you through the process. Now, I am a one-man team, so if I take forever, it is not intentional, I promise you. So if there's anything I can do for you guys, just reach out to me and we'll find a good fit for you.
Rebecca, how many stores do you, recruit for and do talent acquisitions for?
Yeah, so we have 5 dealerships, rooftops, and then 1 collision center. So anywhere from entry-level Porter Valley positions to, interviewing our GM and Ford. So it has been something that they've allowed me to kind of be embedded in and really have those conversations, not interviews, just conversations of personalities and do they mesh with us.
Absolutely. Are we going to be seeing a lot more of you with the Fixed Ops Roundtable? And are you going to start, are we going to, get familiar with you? And
I hope so. I mean, I've enjoyed doing this. Honestly, it has been so much fun. And I think even if it's not me, our team, like they're like, sign me up. Who do I talk to? And they're like, I want, an agent. I'm like, you guys calm down. Calm down.
it's so great to have you on here, and everyone we met at Snell was absolutely wonderful. So being able to not only, get connected with you guys, but Ken and everyone else, we showed some pictures, Vanessa and I pulled some up of the event, and everyone on those panels was empowered, amazing, lifted up by the community that Snell has and the culture that you guys have there. And we really felt that in the air as we were doing the pop-up event.
Well, good. We wanted you guys to feel welcome into our home. At the end of the day, we spend more time at the dealership than we do, at home. And so for us, it's creating that kind of environment, certifications and knowledge is great. But if you don't mesh with the culture, then it's just kind of a hard way to get somebody in the door. It has to have a good culture, good dynamic.
Yes. And for those wanting to see more of Rebecca and the amazing team at Snell, we do have a event coming up so soon, Katrina. It's coming up next month, September 8th through the 11th. This is the Roaring 20s theme. And when I tell you guys, we have some incredible panels, you are not going to want to miss it. And tickets, per usual, are complimentary. And you can get those right now at fixedopsroundtable.com. The panels that we did at Snell and at the other pop-ups that we did this month, as well as many other segments, will be going live during that event. So
yeah, super exciting. We have a lot more to come, Vanessa. We have a pop-up event at Northwood happening in less than a month. And then obviously our event right before then. So we're wrapping up the year, not even up the year, up the quarter with those couple things. And then who knows what we have in October, November, December to wrap up the year. But there's a lot to come. You all online know that. And so, Rebecca, it has been absolutely wonderful to have you on the show tonight. Thank you not only for hosting us at Snell this past week, but also for joining us tonight. I'm sure Vanessa really enjoyed meeting you, as, again, she wasn't able to attend the pop-up event. But we're back with the After Dark shows again. I'm up at school, Vanessa's in Austin. So get ready to see a lot more of us.
Well, thank you guys for ladies, for having me tonight. It has been a true pleasure. So anytime y'all need a filler, call
me. We will.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And we will be back Wednesday evening.